Hi everyone, welcome to our video on multiplying polynomials. So polynomials are expressions that just have positive whole numbered powers on our variables, as we can see in these scenarios here. So it's 2's and 1's on these variables. So like on the 4x there is a 1, but we usually don't show that. And to multiply polynomials, it really just depends on the number of values that we have in each polynomial for our strategy. So what we do in this, and often I just think of it in words for like breaking these down. So you could use these that are written in words up here, but let's go ahead and go through it one by one. So what I think of when I multiply through polynomials is, well, this polynomial, the 4x, just needs to multiply every term in this polynomial. So I usually just show it with arrows and show that I'm going to multiply. And so when we multiply, this 4 is going to multiply the 3. So when 4 times 3 occurs, that's 12. And then this x will multiply the x squared. Well, x times x squared would be x to the third. It's really just looking at the powers and adding them up. So 1 and 2 add up to 3. So x cubed. So x times x squared is x cubed. And then we keep going with it. Okay, so then the 4 would times the negative 2. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. And then x times x is x squared. So anything times itself is squared. So x times x is x squared. And then one more time, 4 times 8 is, and we keep the sign with it. So 4 times positive 8 is positive 32. And then x has no other x to multiply with. However, it will be there. It just tags along. So x is tagged along at the end. And that's it. So 12x cubed minus 8x squared plus 32x. And that's all it takes. Okay, so if it is a binomial times a binomial, so these are 2 terms times 2 terms, well, we use what's often called FOIL. Or, again, kind of in words, the way I'm going to think of it is this 4x needs to multiply each of these, just like how that 4x needed to multiply each of those 3. So this 4x needs to multiply these 2 in this set. So when we do that, 4 times 2 is 8. X times x would be x squared. And then keep going with it. 4 times negative 1 would be negative 4. And then, again, the x is going to tag along. And then we keep going with it. Well, I did the 4x. Now I'm going to do the second term here. This 3 multiplies each of these as well. So it's like each of these in the first one needs to multiply each of these in the second one. And I'm just doing it based on a pattern. So the positive 3 will multiply the positive 2x. So 3 times 2 is 6, is a positive 6. And again, the x is just going to tag along. And then 3 times negative 1 would be negative 3. And then after this, all we have to do is collect like terms. So the like terms have the same variable part, and all we have to do is add the coefficients. So 8x squared does not have the same variable part as just the x's, so that means it's ready to go. Just leave it alone. And then from here, we have negative 4x plus 6x. Well, adding the coefficients, negative 4 plus 6 would be plus 2. And again, just attach the x afterwards. And then minus 3 has no like terms with it, so it's just written right at the end. So there we are. So that's how we multiply. Okay, so let's take a look at these other 2. Here we just have more terms than the previous one. Well, again, I'm just going to do my arrow strategy. This 3t squared needs to multiply each of those in the second one. So I'll have 3t squared times 2t. So 3 times 2 is 6. T squared times t is t cubed. And then 3t squared times negative 3 would be negative 9. And then this t squared, again, just tags along. And then let's keep going with the pattern. So now the second term, the 2t, needs to multiply each of those. So 2t times 2t would be 2 times 2 is 4. T times t would be t squared. And then 2t times negative 3, 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. And then the t just tags along. It's just attached. And then one more, the -5 multiplies each of those. -5 times 2 is -10, and then the t is just attached. And then -5 times -3 is +15. And again, it's just, that's it. There's no t involved in that because it's just two numbers times themselves there. Okay, and then now all I have to do is, like the previous problem, is look for like terms. So the 6t cubed, well, there's no other t cubed, so that means the 6t cubed can just be rewritten. But we do notice that the -9t squared plus 4t squared, those are like terms because t squared is common in both. And so -9 plus 4 would be -5, and then afterwards attach the t squared. We also have -6t minus 10t. Those are the same variable part. So that means those add together. -6 minus 10 is -16. And then again, just attach the variable t. And then the +15, well, it doesn't have any like parts with it. So it just is added at the end, +15, just like that. Okay, so that's how we can break these ones down. So again, just take your time with it. It's usually just a couple steps. All right, our last scenario is if you have something squared, but there's a plus or minus inside. So if you have parentheses like this, if there's ever a plus or minus inside parentheses, being squared, what we need to do is rewrite so that we can see it in its expanded form. So the 2x minus 9 squared, that is the same thing as 2x minus 9 times itself. So 2x minus 9 times 2x minus 9. And then now it's really just like the number 2 up above, where I can take the 2x and multiply each of those. So 2x times 2x is 4x squared. And then 2x times -9 would be minus 18x. And then I continue where I take the -9 and multiply each of those. So -9 times 2x is -18x. -9 times -9, two negatives is positive. 9 times 9 is 81. All right, and then our last step is to combine like terms, which are right in the middle. 4x squared goes first. -18x minus 18x would be minus 36x. And then plus 81 has no other like term it combines with, so it's just written afterwards, just like that. Okay, so that's how we can multiply. So it's all, no matter how many terms they throw at you, it's all following the similar pattern. Take your time with it. Okay, so be careful with signs. So positives and negatives, be careful with those. That's usually the main mistake. Okay, anyway, so that's it for now. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, please let me know. But I will see you next time.